The story of Moses and his sons is one of the most intriguing and mysterious in the Bible. Despite the Bible providing extensive details about Moses as the great leader of the people of Israel, it surprisingly mentions very little about his family. This absence of information surrounding his wife and children makes Moses one of the loneliest figures in history. While Moses is surrounded by family members such as his sister Miriam, her husband, his brother Aaron, and his 4 sons, nephews and cousins, his own wife and children are noticeably absent during crucial moments and significant events. They seem to disappear from historical coverage, leaving us with no knowledge of their whereabouts or their involvement in Moses' life. This mystery surrounding Moses' sons has not been extensively explored by biblical commentators, which adds to the limited information available. From what we can gather from the biblical narrative, Moses frequently received assistance from his family members. His brother Aaron served as his interpreter before Pharaoh and the people, emphasizing the importance of familial support in Moses' endeavors. The story begins with Moses fleeing from Egypt after killing an Egyptian. He found refuge in Midian, where he encountered Zipporah, the daughter of Jethro. They got married and had 2 sons, Gershom and Eleazar. While working as a shepherd for his father-in-law, Moses witnessed a miraculous event, an encounter with a burning bush in the desert. This encounter signified a divine calling, and Moses accepted his mission. Accompanied by his wife and 2 sons, Moses embarked on a journey to Egypt. However, during their journey, there is a significant gap in the biblical narrative where Zipporah and the sons seem to disappear. It is only after leaving Egypt that they reappear in the biblical account. The lack of detailed information about Moses' family and the mysterious gaps in their presence raise questions about their significance and role in the overall narrative. Interestingly, the Bible specifically mentions the birth of Moses' first son, Gershom, but does not provide any details about the birth of the second son. This omission piques curiosity about the existence of another child of Moses. The biblical text states that Moses named his first son Gershom because he felt like a foreigner in a foreign land. This suggests that Moses faced challenges and displacement during his time in Midian. After the exodus from Egypt, Moses' father-in-law, Jethro, brings his sons back to him. The Bible mentions that Jethro received Zipporah and her 2 sons. While the birth of the first son is explicitly mentioned, the birth of the second son is mysteriously omitted. This is the last time Moses' sons are mentioned in the Bible, and they are not further discussed or referenced thereafter. The absence of Moses' sons becomes particularly noticeable in places where their presence would be expected. The Bible provides a detailed list of Aaron's descendants up to Phinehas, and even mentions the priestly dynasty. However, it remains silent about the descendants of Moses. This omission raises the question of why Moses' family is not mentioned, and to understand this, we must examine a previous verse. In Exodus 18:2, it is stated that Moses had sent away his wife Zipporah. This phrase, "had sent," is significant because it implies divorce. The Bible does not explicitly mention the divorce, but it can be inferred from the word used. It appears that at some point, Zipporah returned with her sons to Midian and separated from Moses. This separation could explain why Moses' sons are absent from the biblical narrative. The term sending away in the Bible often refers to divorce, as seen in the book of Deuteronomy. It suggests that if a man marries a woman who becomes displeasing to him, he can write her a certificate of divorce and send her away from his house. This understanding aligns with the possibility that Moses and Zipporah underwent a separation or divorce. The Bible's silence regarding Moses' sons and their absence from the narrative leaves us with unanswered questions. It highlights the mysteries surrounding Moses' family and their role in shaping his life and legacy. While we may never know the full extent of their story, the enigmatic nature of Moses' sons adds depth and intrigue to the larger narrative of his leadership and the journey of the people of Israel. The story of Moses and his family is a fascinating and enigmatic aspect of the Bible. Although the Bible provides extensive details about Moses as the great leader of the Israelites, it mentions very little about his immediate family, particularly his wife and children. This absence of information surrounding his family creates a sense of mystery and leaves us with questions about their role in Moses' life. According to Deuteronomy 24:4, if a woman marries another man and her second husband dislikes her, he can write her a certificate of divorce and send her away from his house. The passage further states that if the second husband dies, the woman is not allowed to remarry her first husband who divorced her, as she has been defiled. This context raises the possibility that Moses and his wife, Zipporah, underwent a separation or divorce at some point. One incident that sheds light on the relationship between Moses and Zipporah is recounted in Exodus 4:24-26. While on their way to Egypt, Moses and Zipporah stayed at a lodging place, and God attempted to harm Moses. Zipporah saved him by circumcising their son and touching Moses' feet with the foreskin. She referred to Moses as a bridegroom of blood, indicating her concern for their well-being and the potential dangers they faced together. This event raises the question of whether Zipporah conveyed to Moses that being with him posed a danger to their lives, and perhaps she did not desire such a life. In response to these circumstances, Moses sent Zipporah and their sons back to her father's house in Midian. However, there is one significant detail that suggests it was only Moses and Zipporah who parted ways: the act of kissing. In Exodus 18:5 and 18:7, Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, along with Moses' sons and wife, came to meet him in the wilderness. When they met, Moses went out to greet Jethro, and they exchanged kisses. This warm encounter between Moses and Jethro signifies a reunion and suggests that Zipporah left because she realized Moses was on a divine mission that could potentially harm him. She understood the importance of his role as a prophet, priest, and leader, and any disruption in their relationship could have adverse consequences. The absence of Zipporah, Gershom, and Eleazar from the narrative following their reunion with Moses may indicate that they did not fully join the Israelite community and did not play an active part in Moses' leadership. However, there is one more mention of Moses' family in the Bible, which appears in the story of the idol of Micah. In Judges 18:30, it is mentioned that one of the men involved in the story of the idol was Jonathan, the son of Gershom, the son of Moses. Jonathan and his sons served as priests for the tribe of Dan until the time of the captivity of the land. This reference suggests that Moses' descendants, at least in part, were involved in serving as priests for the tribe of Dan. Overall, the story of Moses and his family remains shrouded in mystery. It raises questions about the sacrifices and challenges that leaders of the Israelite people faced, including the potential loss of their families. While the Bible provides limited information about Moses' immediate family, their absence and occasional mentions in the text add depth and intrigue to the larger narrative of Moses' leadership and the journey of the Israelites. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you soon in our upcoming videos.